Mortis. How's it going, everybody? What's going on, everybody? How are you? Nice to see everyone. I don't have anything open yet. Don't have anything open yet. I got to get the comments, or rather the chat open and stuff here. Intriguing. 2 people in the house, 2 whopping souls. Oh. All right, let's do this. Sorry, folks, just getting settled, you know? I just got in from work, and now I just gotta chill out and play some guitar with y'all. So if you're here, by the way, excuse me, if you're here in the chat, let me know, say hello. You might be wondering why we haven't done anything on this plugin since it's the release day, and that's because there was a very large update that needed to be done that made it sound a lot better and made it more functional, the real Chacho. I also forgot there was a couple of people that I didn't get to about their prizes from kind of a little far back, so I'm gonna lay it on those. I'm gonna send those people something rad right after the stream. There was a pocket of messages that got tucked with a bunch of messages I was getting about something else, and they got tucked to page 2, and things happened. So my apologies. I will be sending along an awesome makeup gift. So Cannibal Corpse. Yep, that is Corpse. Hold on, folks. Give me 1 second on this weird, awkward-looking screen that I haven't fixed yet, because I have to do one thing off screen here. Hold on. So, hopefully you guys are having a great day. I'm having a pretty damn decent day, actually, if I might say so myself. It's one of those days. We're going to talk... Hang on a sec here, folks. Just letting the team know. Hey, guys. I am on with DD. Drop in if available. All right, perfect. So we are going to do that, and then I'm going to be back here. Give me a half second, and we're back. All right, we're back. Okay, so this is the ToneSuite Dave to the Davidson. And this is a plugin that myself and Dave Davidson and Wavemind, and this is the wonderful little team, Bo and Eddie, that we had going for this one. And we also had some really rad beta testers that were testing things through the roof. Most of the bugs got taken out, but there was one thing we didn't account for. There was a couple of early reviews that came out to do with this plugin, and just a couple things that the developer, Chris, wasn't fully on board with. He said, just something was missing, he said. And that thing now has been firmly installed into the plugin. It is not missing a damn thing. It sounds fan-fucking-tastic. It is versatile as everything, and we're going to check it out right now. This is the default preset. Let's check it out. Sounding pretty good to my ears. Pretty darn good indeed. We're gonna just fix a few things up here. Sounding pretty good. So there's a number of things that were done here, and if you already own the plugin, I could go through that with you. But if you don't own the plugin already, that's kind of pointless for me to go through it. You might as well just enjoy it as it is. Going left to right here, we have the pedal section. We have a phaser. We have an EQ pedal. We have a compressor, a very handy compressor. It's very simplistic, but it handles duty. And then we have a very, I guess, feature-rich tube screamer that has not only your regular tube screamer controls, but also a fat and an extra drive notch in there as well. So check that out. if you feel inclined. Now, we got 4 amps in this guy. 4 amps. We have 1 amp here, and we are the only place you're probably going to find the full explanation of what these amps are, what are they based off of, what was the inspiration behind them. This amp was Dave's number one. It's the one thing that had to be had in this plugin is the artist's main setup. Now, the main setup for this artist in particular, Dave Davidson, is his EVH 5153. Always, I think basically always set to the blue channel, and he makes it do all kinds of amazing work. It has a mode switch here that you'll notice. This mode is essentially kind of sort of gives you a stealth vibe, if you will. The overkill in this particular amp, I would almost save for like your low tunings. I'm only in B flat right now, which is still pretty low. We can give it a quick go. So let's check this amp out as it is. That's the raw. Also, a few things have been done to the cabinet section. You'll notice the full EQ is kind of the number one deal right now. And it sounds pretty damn good. You can use full EQ, raw, or EQ corrected. I personally like kind of going between the two. I don't know if I would go full EQ on both or anything like that, but you guys be the judge. And I think this came out sounding pretty damn good, but it did need an update. It definitely needed an update to kind of really show what it can do. It's chunky, it's full sounding. I personally like it a lot. This plugin has definitely become one of my go-tos. Resurrecto, the real Chacho. How are you? 5 people in the house. Let's get chatting, folks. Let's get it going. I do have to take a quick break a little bit earlier than expected. Waiting for some news right now. There is a family member that is in maybe some health issues going on, so I do have to make sure I'm gonna go check my phone, make a quick phone call, and make sure I'm kind of keeping in the family loop, if you will. I'm sure if everybody can understand that, if you've ever had a family member that was in hospital and there were some serious things going on, I'm sure you guys. We've all been through this, unfortunately. It's never a fun thing to go through. I'm sure everyone would agree. So I do apologize, but I do have to take a quick early break, earlier than the usual. That's sounding pretty darn good to me. You guys let me know in the chat, how do you guys feel about this plugin? Have you done the free trial? And if you have done the free trial, I believe we're going to try to do our best to, maybe we're going to reset the free trial so that people can kind of re-experience the plugin with the new, just a bit more of a full sound. Just to go over it now, we have 4 different amps in this plugin. This is the go-to. Then after that, a lot of artists, after they go after their kind of go-to sound, they like to just fill the plugin with fun stuff that they might find fun and they think you might find fun. So in this case, Dave went with the Hammerfaust. This thing is awesome. It's a terrific amp. It's based on a Diesel VH4's Channel 3, and it's also got some mods on it. It's got a fancy kind of sort of Herbert-esque mod, which is the mid-cut feature, and it's also got an overkill switch that does not do the same thing on every amp, I might add. There's somebody that had said that in a review, that putting the overkill switch on every amp is a bit mundane. It's not mundane if it does something different every time. You know what I mean? But if you actually took the time to read the manual or check out, I don't know, maybe the product page, you'd know that. But if you're going to do a demo or a review without even looking at the product page or the manual, well, we've all got amateur hour, I suppose. So in this case, overkill does not do the same thing on every amp. We'll check out this amp as well. Sandsoul Music, nice to meet you. Is this your first time on the channel? And are you, man, that's awesome to meet you. It's great having new people drop in, especially when streams are a bit slow. Today's going to be a bit slow. It's a midweek stream, but I promised that when the update came out for this plugin, that we were going to jump in no matter what day it was. It actually came out yesterday, but I just had things that I was doing. So I unfortunately couldn't make it work yesterday, but we're making it work now. And I think it sounds pretty damn good. You guys let me know in the chat. I do appreciate it. This amp is definitely a little bit darker. We have a Franken Marshall with all kinds of different capabilities. Essentially, this amp is your, I don't want to call it your Marshall Dream, because some people just like a straight up, non-modified stock 800. And there's nothing wrong with those people whatsoever. But for those of you out there that like modified Marshalls, those seem to be kind of all the rage right now in plugin world. Well, this one right here is a good one, a real good one that's going to give you everything, anything and everything. Pretty much any Marshall can do. This thing can do it. You know, anything from, you know, dad rock right up to fire breathing dragon, Fear Factory type tones. This thing is awesome. So we'll be checking that out as we go through. And then what has been called one of the greatest clean amps in a plugin ever. A creator told me that, and even though the creator's he's not, like the biggest creator in the world, but having anybody, especially somebody that does videos on lots of different plugins, tell me straight up for no reason. I didn't ask him what he thought. He just came out with he came at me with a message and said the Nassau is is the best clean amp I have ever used. The response is insane. He was just going on and on about the clean amp. And I thought the gainier amps were going to be his bag, but he came at me first about this amp right here. And Dave is very happy with this one. For a little bit of background on this, I worked with Dave Davidson to kind of try to put together some things for this plugin. Then Dave kind of started working with the entire team, and I think the plugin came out incredible. You guys be the judge, though. Free 14-day trial available right now. Free trial. Go grab it. It is, just go grab it. That's it. All right, so that's sounding pretty good so far. You guys be the judge. You guys have the ears as well. Let me know how you're feeling about the tone. It's sounding pretty gnarly to me, but if I want, I can take this tight filter and put that on. Then we get to the IntelliQ. Now the IntelliQ here is super fun. You've got the low cut, the high cut. That's all there for you should you wish. And then you have all kinds of different controls. We wanted to make this something that just anyone that's using this can understand what rumble means, what a scoop is, maybe, what smooth is, what bite means. Air can be a little bit more difficult to explain, but nonetheless, this thing is super easy to use and it's super powerful. Lots and lots of processing power in here, and I can guarantee you're going to enjoy it. And then the post effects, a wonderful looking little rack setup here. This has got a wonderful chorus, digital delay, and digital reverb, and these all sound terrific. We'll go through some of the presets for the plugin a little bit later in the stream, but for now, we're just kind of hanging out. If you guys have questions about this plugin at all, any question you might have, throw it at me. Sansol Music, I want to call you Sanslow Music. I don't know why though. That sounds terrific to my ears. Again, you guys tell me what you think. I'm going to turn up the bite a little bit. Now, if you're wanting to add a little bit more extra top end or bite, you have the bite control here for starters. But do not look past the grind controls on the cabinet section. The grind controls can get you a lot closer than you might think to certain tones. If you just add a little bit more low end, a little bit more bite, the grind and the girth do a wonderful job of doing exactly that. So yeah, sounding good so far. If you guys dig it, that's cool. 7 people in the chat. Let's stir this chat up a bit, folks. Come on. Let's stir it up a little bit. This is the DD plugin, and on release day, we were all a little bit, I don't know, in celebration mode, I guess, because this is the culmination of a lot of work from a lot of different human beings, and we all worked on this in our own amount. And pretty much everyone on the team here put work into this on some level. Myself, Bo, and Eddie put a ton of work in on this plugin. And of course, Chris and Dave put like a mountain of work in here as well. And it was one of those suites that sometimes for signature suites, I just find that there might be a lot of franken-amping involved. And that's why sometimes companies are a little vague on the graphics, because they haven't used an exact matchup or one-to-one replica of a certain piece of gear. In this case, I like to think we did the same thing. I think there are nods to some of the gear that we used for sure. Like for example, this is a diesel without even looking like any currently released diesel. You know what I mean? This is somebody asked me if this was a PV. It's like, man, you should know this is a Marshall by look at this amp and tell me. I couldn't it's a Marshall. Anyways, Icona Lead 488 is a monster. This thing is a savage beast, but it's also something I might showcase in a different stream with a different guitar, like maybe my Telecaster, because I really believe that this one soars for both rock and for pretty much any lead that you might need. This thing is great for lead guitar. A ton of work is an understatement, yes. I do find, I think this plugin came out pretty much exactly the way everyone wanted it to. Now it just becomes about promotion and getting the plugin kind of out there, being that this developer, some developers have a lot, when they have a new release, they have thousands and thousands of dollars that are allocated for an advertising budget or a creator budget, where they're just throwing $500 to $1,000 per creator at these creators that are on the larger side of things. And that's a lot of the hype right there. You have to spend money on marketing. If you want your product to be huge, you need to pay some money for marketing. And that's just kind of the way things are at, the word things are at. And you're probably going to see this plugin in a lot more hands in the coming couple of weeks. Initially, we had planned to put it out there. There's a lot of content that kind of got held back because of this update. Now there's a lot of content that you're going to see that's going to go, it's going to explode. It's going to all come out now that this plugin is all ready to rip. I think people assume 5150 because of the name Icona, but Iconic is a different circuit and not even PV. Yeah, but it doesn't look anything like a PV. Guys, give me 2 seconds here, okay? I realize that this is not a quick stream, so let's get this chat fired up and yeah, it's gonna be only about 45 seconds here. So I do apologize for the early break, but nonetheless, I'll try not to do another one. Okay, sound good? All right, 2-3 minutes max. Thanks so much for your patience. What a song. What a song. Hell no, it's not over. Nope, just in be right back mode, brother. I had to go and answer a phone. I had to go check on something. I had a family member in a scenario right now, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping tabs on everything. Oh, the way I should be. I've switched guitars because I wasn't getting the vibe from... Wasn't really getting the vibe from Gilbert that he wanted to be here. So, switch things up as we are. And we're going to have some fun. I'm going to use... this feels like it needs a neck adjustment again as well. Yeah, it might. We'll see. We'll see. Anyways, this is my Schecter Avenger Elite Diamond Series something or other. I'm not big on the Schecter stuff. This was given to me, actually, and I put a set of Tim Henson Fishman Fluence Moderns in it. This pickup set is superb. I'm going to tell you right now, this pickup set is just magnificent. And I don't like all the Fishman stuff, but this set is incredible. Incredible. All right, let's play some guitar, folks. That's sounding pretty good. What do you guys think? We'll see. You know, I've got beef. Folks, I never really talk beef. I don't talk beef often. But I've got beef. And my beefs are simple. My beefs are with two things. YouTubers that seem to run and revolve around nothing but tearing down certain guitar brands. And that's actually just the one main thing. Just the one main thing is like I see so much of this. And you know, it's starting to also get at me. There's these YouTubers that are now, it's like solely fixated on watching other human beings' content and making sure that it matches finger and pick for finger and pick. I'm sorry, brother, but get a fucking life. You know what I mean? Get a fucking life. It's either they're faking. If they're faking, they're faking. Only they really know. But I mean, if it's egregious, everybody can see it anyway. They don't need to get called out and all this shit. That's dumb. And the other stuff that's really been, it's just been bugging me. It's just been, that stuff bugs me. Anyways. And then out there, it's like, there's this other, I'm not going to name specific YouTubers because I don't want to get like feuds going and all this stuff, but it's really like, there's so much negative content. Everywhere you turn, it's like, this guitar brand is bullshit. These are the 10 guitars not to buy this year. Fuck off, dude. You know what I mean? Like, tell people about the 10 guitars they should buy instead, you know? Use your content time for positivity. That's all I'm going to say. That stuff really bothers me. Really bugging me to a high degree lately. So I thought I'd say something about it. It is what it is. People playing guitar is awesome. I understand that if you're like, you know, if you're watching somebody fake it and everyone is sitting there tooting their horn saying that they're the greatest guitar player ever, when in reality they're kind of doing it with multi-take, like, you know, they're doing takes for every 8 notes and stuff like that. I get it. But I don't know, like if you're building all of your content is that's the only thing. If you make a couple of videos about calling people out for faking it, that's one thing. But like, I don't know, man, there's like, plus throughout history in the guitar realm, there's all kinds of different, the studio magic has been used for years to make people sound better than they were. I just think the faking it thing has gotten like, I mean, if that's all you do is shit on stuff, God, man, that must be a miserable existence. Wouldn't that be a miserable existence as if every time you hit record, it was just to be like, hey guys, here's some shit that I'm pissed off about in brands that you shouldn't buy because they wouldn't give me free stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, every single guitar brand on earth, whether it's Schecter or Ibanez or Kiesel, or it doesn't matter. There are horror stories with every brand out there. And like the whole fanboy thing isn't really helping. It's not helping anyone. Fanboying any one company is just so stupid. Are they paying you? If they're not paying you, stop being a fanboy and open your mind a little bit. You know, I don't know. These unpaid fanboys are just these toxic unpaid fanboys that just fanboy around and start beef, and they go company to company, and it's like truck fanboys. And you know, the Ford guys are always getting on the Dodge guys, and the Dodge guys getting on the Chevy guys, and he's driving a Chevy. You know, like that kind of shit. Who fucking cares? Does it get me from point A to point B? Yeah, okay, whatever. You know, I always think that just that stuff's healthy, I guess. Brand, like, you know, it's like your hockey teams, you know, you're ribbing each other. Healthy ribbing is fine, but I don't know. I think today while eating lunch, I got this like epiphany because I was trying to enjoy my lunch and I was scrolling through YouTube trying to find something to watch. And I get a lot of like static because I don't follow a ton of stuff. I get a lot of static and this like so many videos about don't buy this brand. Don't buy this brand. Here's why BC Rich sucks. You know, like, fuck, dude. Not just blaming one YouTuber, but don't be like, oh, he's calling out this guy or that person. Now, I'm not calling out anyone direct. If I was, I would. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Tell me what you think in the discussion. Do you think this like constant negativity in this content should it be around? Like, is it required? I don't know. You be the judge. Let me know what you think. All right, we're gonna get going here. Sounded pretty good. That's sounding huge, actually. Just fucking monstrous. Yeah, this is fun. I've got this drop down, basically a whole string. This is kind of like playing an 8 string minus the high E, if that makes any sense. It is tuned F sharp to B. I think it's a fun tuning to play in if you have a 7 string. It's probably the only tuning I would use is 7 string. I don't know, you guys, it just feels chonky. I don't have need for an 8 string, but I didn't have need for a 7 string either, but I couldn't say no. It's a rare 7 string, and I'm told it's kind of vintage gear. This was apparently the guy from Avenged Sevenfold's Sinister Gates original first signature 7 string, and one of the very few signature 7s he ever actually put his name on because he doesn't play one. So I think it came out right around 1999 to 2001 in that little time frame. Yeah, so every time I pull this guitar out, I get somebody that's just like, damn, really? Like, holy shit. Like, that's like a dream guitar for me. You just got it for free. Yes, I'm very happy that I have cool friends that pay me in guitars for guitar work. Oh. That sounds chonky. 6 people in the house. We do have a moving chat now. This is wonderful. I think... Didn't they basically use a solid state power section for it? Already over, no, sorry. Hey, fellas, how you all doing? Rudy, I'm doing great. Sans Slow Music. I found your YouTube channel via Wavemind. That's nice. I'm from Germany. My English isn't that good. That's okay. Your English does not have to be great here to chat in here. We'll get your meaning. Also, what would you might enjoy this, but we have many people from Germany. We have a couple on our team alone. Our esteemed team member Pip Priss is in Germany. And yeah, so if you might actually find some people willing to engage you in German in here. There's another German fella in here as well. Is it Brain Dead? Dang. A lot of people have been missing. A lot of our classic chat members have just gone by the wayside. Kyle Hunter, brother, we miss you. Kyle. All right, so yeah, we're just kind of chugging away. Again, this is the Tim Henson signature Fishman Fluence modern set, and it is. I didn't expect to love it as much as I do. I really didn't. Thank you so much to Fishman for sending these over. Thank you, and thank you 5 times, 10 times. These pickups are incredible. And I've really enjoyed them. This guitar now slays. These pickups will never come out of this guitar. Never. And I won't even be tempted to try anything else in this guitar. These pickups are glued in here at this point. Wow. Well, just wow. Tyler, I could connect the pedal and put new IR. Sounds amazing. Hold on. Hello, guys. How are you doing today? What do you mean? Which IR? What's happening right now? I missed the 80s shred. Hold on. Tyler, I saw that recently where YouTubers are breaking it down. I don't see why it matters to people. Yeah, no, sorry. I agree with you on that one. If people are playing guitar, they're playing guitar. I just don't know, if you want to do one video about somebody that's like egregiously faking it, sure, that's fine. But to do like a 50-minute documentary on every one of this person's videos and faking it to the max, like, oh, I don't know, man. Can you imagine waking up and that was your whole job, was to sit with a notepad and go over this person's content in extra slow motion and find every tiny little misstep in between? Like, I think after you find the first 5 fake things in a piece of content, I think the average viewer is going to say, yeah, the rest of it's probably fake too. You know what I mean? No, there's no viewer alive that's going to be like, but well, he only analyzed the first 30 seconds to minute of this video, so that's kind of lazy. No, it would be like, there would be probably better that way. And no, I'm not calling out anybody directly. I think there's 4 or 5 different YouTubers that I saw that are now almost exclusively just sitting there calling people out for fakery. I don't know, man. I would have a hard time looking at myself in the mirror if that was my whole job. I would rather sit at home and just punch myself in the balls once every hour on the hour than to have that be my job. I don't know. Am I wrong? Am I just being an old guy about this? Yeah, it sucks when people fake shit and they get guitar endorsements and they get millions of followers and stuff. I get that frustration. I do. I just could never see spending, like, you're looking at like a video that's, say, an edited video that's anywhere from 20 to 40 minutes. That is hours and hours and hours and hours of time that I do not have in my life. I just don't have that time. I don't have it. I'm not necessarily the hugest fan of the comedian Mark Maron, but one time he did a bit that resonated with me to my soul. And he said at this point, he won't even like listen to albums if he doesn't think he's interested. He'll just tell people, you know what? He's in his 50s or whatever. I don't have enough time left. People are thinking, time left? Are you going to die tomorrow? No, I'm perfectly healthy. I just only have about 30 years left of my life or so, maybe 35, give or take, ballpark. I just don't have time I don't have enough time in my life to listen to this album. I would rather do anything else. Like shit like that. You got to check out this TV show. Nope. No, I don't. I don't have enough time left. I'm sorry. So now that's how I look at life. I just don't have enough time left in my life to just sit around being extra negative all the time. Might be thinking that I am being negative right now. Not really. I understand that people are just being creative and trying to bring the average schmo out of like hey, these people aren't what you think they are. I get it. But I mean, I don't know about that long making content like that's that long. Anyways, this turned into more of a guitar hang. We're just checking out this plugin. We went over it in great detail in the release stream, although the release stream was rather heavily enhanced on my end, as it was quite a celebration day, and we were all kind of just in party mode, and the chat was moving 4,000 miles an hour, and it was awesome. It was awesome. 9 people in the house. Nice to see you. My name is Tyler. Welcome to the HempSim show on the HempSim universe, and today we're just hanging out with Wavemind's amazing plugin. This is ToneSuite Davidson, 4 amps, 4 cabinets. Go to the cabinets here for a second. Bo and Eddie could probably take you through exactly what's what with the cabinets, but everything is on the website as well. The website is also, by the way, features Wavemind. Yeah, I want to make sure I get the right thing here. I've got here. It's fine. Okay. So you go here, you go to learn more. And the cool thing about this, we're going to learn more right now. The cool thing about this is all the sound, if you go to explore this amp, for example, all the sound samples that you have on here are all played by Davidson, not just like someone at the company that just happens to be good at guitar, which is, all those are always appreciated, by the way. This is actually done by the artist, which is awesome. And we actually didn't watch his full demo. If you're really curious, the tones that Dave Davidson got with his plugin in that demo are obscene. Just obscene tones that he got. And tones that I can't even get with this plugin. So, and it'll tell you exactly about everything. Aggression mode. Flip between 2 distinct characters on demand. Blue mode focuses, tames the higher mids slightly for a rounder tone. Red mode adds bite and saturation, opening up the sound and a little bit of gain, by the way, because this might need to be edited, because I know that the update puts more gain in the red version as well. Opening up the sound for modern low-tuned riffs. Essentially, people wanted the red channel available when they're not realizing that the blue channel in the 5153 is maybe the most versatile channel of any amp ever. I don't know. Overkill. Now, here's the cool thing. If you think overkill is all the same on each and every amp that Wavemind does, wrong. Right here, is the default gain staging enough? Do you need an extra bit of edge to your lead tone? Overkill delivers. This switch adds more of everything, more gain, more aggression, all while keeping the tight nature of the amp intact. And it's just factually completely different with every different amp. It's not just like taking the same schematic block and just dropping it in there somewhere, or shoehorning it in, or putting something on a little switch that's just like a filter or something like that. This was something different per amp. And so also, if you go right to the bottom, it tells you all the different stuff about the amp that all the amp nerds want to know. These aren't just simply profiles, folks. These use real schematics, real modeling, real programming, real coding. Like, it's not just, somebody went and shot a bunch of profiles or captures and then put it under a hood, right? This is a different bag. So again, you need to read through it. Special features, rectifier type, power amp tubes, preamp tube. It gives you everything. Also power amp class, which is nice. These are nice things to have. And it gives you that for each and every amp. And Tyler is right about all gear companies. All companies have a dude that I've gotten. ESP stand. Yes. Sorry. All have duds. Sorry. I definitely misread that. All companies have duds. Not just duds, but like it could be, there's just so many things that can go wrong in QC, especially today in QC. Quality control at various companies has definitely gone down fucking hill. Now, a 1500, 10 years ago, I'm not talking about back in the 1990s. No, 10 years ago, $1,500 for a guitar meant you were getting a guitar. Like you were going to get something with probably premium pickups, something where they've spent more time on the fretwork, some probably locking tuners, you know, a little bit more upgrades. These days, it's almost like $1,500 has become like a starting point. It doesn't even guarantee you premium pickups anymore. I remember when even 10 years ago, I think $1,000 guitar, $999 guitar would usually guarantee that you were getting premium pickups. Now, $1,000, you're laughing if you think that's guaranteeing you that. Some companies are doing it, some are not. So it is what it is. You're going to get duds from every company. But unfortunately, these days, with the way that the online world works, unfortunately, these days, everybody that gets something that they're not happy with, they instantly go straight to social media. Or they go to the company with a ton of fucking attitude, and just raging, you know, every time. Like I've seen videos, we've all seen that video where someone's flipping the fuck out about a guitar that's got a little bit of a, you know, maybe it's got a dent on it. Maybe it's clearly a B-stock guitar that they bought at brand new, whatever it is. We've all seen those videos where people just went straight to social media instead of going to the guitar brand. And then in the case of, we all know though, these days, there are a lot of guitar manufacturers that have CEOs and bosses that like to be out there on social media, and you can't do that, especially when we've seen the tantrums from certain guitar builders on social media as well, and that's not a good look. You're supposed to be above that by design. As the boss, the top of the heap of the company, you're supposed to be above it. You might be thinking, well, I'm the CEO and it's my job to reach out. No, it's not. Just fucking, it's one or two. People are always going to have problems as long as people deal with things. I've seen the emails though, where people did get those guitars they weren't happy with, and the company just said straight up, like they're trying to blame it on anybody and everybody except for themselves. Oh, it must have been shipping. It must have been this. It must have been that. Just make your customers happy. Now, when it comes to guitars made in Korea, almost every time you're going to get a guitar that is made well. You're probably gonna like it. It's probably like they go above and beyond in those Korean factories. They just do. You know what I mean? They just do in those Korean factories. They go above and beyond on a number of levels for the price point that the guitars are sold at. And many of those guitars do come back to like the States and other places that'll do the setups and everything else. Like I think that's how Reverend works. And there's a number of companies that are maybe based in the States or based somewhere in North America or else, or really anywhere, but they're making their stuff in Indonesia or Korea, and they're just not paying for the finishing touches, but instead bringing them to their own shop for all the finishing touches, whether it be, because that's I think how Ormsby did it as well. A number of companies do it that way. Scott Ian uses the blue channel. Trust me, it has plenty of gain. You're damn right. And Scott Ian uses it at like, he uses the gain on like 2. All right, let's play some more guitar. Oh yeah. Yeah, this guitar sounds so good. I didn't think I was gonna like it. But the craziest thing about it is, it was given to me out of the blue. He didn't tell me it was coming. He just showed up with this and was just like, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "For what?" He's like, "You fixed a bunch of my guitars." I'm like, "For free? You're like one of my best friends for fucking 20 plus years. I'm just gonna do it for free because I love my friends. The few friends I have, I hold close to me. I love my friends, and I'll do anything for them. So working on guitars is fun for me. I spent a lot of time kind of refurbishing this a couple of horrible Telecasters and an Ibanez Talman, which was an absolute pleasure because they're beautiful guitars, and I love all of those shapes. And then he just brings this by and was just like, "Hey man, do you want this?" I'm like, "Yeah." But the thing is, the days before that, we were talking about how much I hate Schecter 7 strings. 7s and 8s. We were just days before that in stream talking about how Schecters many of them look awesome, but I just hate the necks. I love this neck. It's huge, but I love it for some reason. Let's see what we got here. Cobalt EVH 412 with G12 EVH speakers. Hammerfaust is a Mesa, by the way, and where that came from, well, you know, do you want the truth or do you want the bullshit version? I'm going to give you the bullshit version. No, I'm just kidding. I'll give you the truth. The truth is, originally in the Hammerfaust, here's something you're only going to know about and you're only going to hear on this channel right here, right now. There's nobody else I don't think there's anybody else that even really knows this outside of the beta, maybe even the beta team. But originally the Hammerfaust, let's go to the amps. Originally the Hammerfaust was the Thrasher, and it was not a diesel. It was a Mesa. It was a Franken-ampy version of a Mesa, kind of a Mesa, a Mark II kind of an amp. Mesa Mark series in general. And it's awesome. It is still awesome, and it still exists. And what do you guys think that Wavemind should do with it? I would love it if Wavemind would do a piece of freeware with it. But anyways, that's beside the point. We figured out as a team that this amp really wasn't gonna be what we wanted it to be in the amount of time that we had to work, and it seemed like we were fighting this amp every step of the way, and we just kind of put it on the back burner and replaced the amp with something that we knew would be definitely a little bit more modern metal, and definitely something that breaks up and makes the versatility features even more of a big deal. Just my opinion. And so that is why, but the thing is, the cabinet sounded so good with the Hammerfaust that we just left it the way it was. Kind of cool. Also, the naming, a little bit of more trivia, the naming of this amp was one of the most difficult parody names I've ever been a part of, because try finding a strong German sounding, anything that's, you know, strong and German sounding, that is not associated with the dude with the mustache. You know, I'm not even gonna give him any, I'm not gonna say that. I don't want to get put on some list somewhere, you know what I mean? But go ahead. There's so many amazing names for amazing German weaponry, but guess what it was all used for? Horrible things. So no, you're not gonna call the African amp something like that. So it just went back and forth with all these ridiculous and some hilarious, and some we were just started joking, and I think someone decided we should call it the sauerkraut at some point. But nonetheless, it came out as Hammerfaust. You got to say it loud, and you have to say it with an accent because that is what it's going to give you. This thing sounds blistering. And remember, this is a bit of a darker beast. We're going to go to the cabinets and switch the cabinets. Also a split function where you can split side the cabinets no matter however you'd like. We're going to stick with the single cabinets just for the moment and see where we can go with that. It sounds pretty nice, pretty huge. Huge. Sounding pretty good. I don't know about you guys. Tell me what you think. These grind controls are always going to get you more of what you want, by the way. It was more bite to and basically anything you're doing in here. You turn up the grind or the girth to kind of lower to the top end, enhance, and it all sounds good. Tom Selleck, never trusted him. That being said, don't ever trust Tom Selleck. Guaranteed, depending on your age, I guarantee your mom has had a crush or still has a crush on Tom Selleck. Go ahead, ask her if your mother is still with us. If she is not, may God rest her soul, and may she rest in peace. Then ask your closest aunt, perhaps, even maybe your mother-in-law. Basically any woman that's in any of the age range of 80 to, I don't know, roughly 50 to 80. Anywhere in there, 50 to 80, that whole group right there, big Tom Selleck fans. Big Tom Selleck fans. I had a secretary that was in for the day, a supply secretary. I work in a school, and she told me, "Oh, I just love your mustache. It looks like Tom Selleck's." You hear that from she was probably about in late 60s. What is she trying to say there? Do I need to call HR? Just kidding. All right, keep going. That sounds really big. Man, this guitar sounds so fucking good. I just love it. Excuse it. Drinking a carbonated beverage. It's going to make some sounds there. Hey, I hope everyone is having an amazing day. Also, Psychroptic did an In Flames cover. Have you guys heard this? I listened to it and I didn't recognize it as an In Flames cover. And I thought to myself, holy fuck, what the fuck happened to Psychroptic? Because when you hear it, you're going to be like, what the fuck? Please tell me this is not their new song. Because it was just very melodic and certain things about are sacred. You know, like, if you are not a Psychroptic fan, you really should be, because it's some of the best tone you're ever going to hear in your life. But then again, that tone is very subjective. Clan 3517. Every older woman had a crush on Tom Selleck. I agree, my mother included. Although my mom moved on to The Rock. And she lies about it too, which is weird. You know, she lies about it. For a while, she lied about having a crush on The Rock, even though I would catch her watching all like The Rock's movies and his show Ballers on my. We share a Crave subscription, and I would catch her watching it and just be like, "Who's watching all this shit with The Rock?" Well, my mom's the only other one that had access at her place. So I'm like, "Mom, are you watching? Do you have a crush on The Rock?" And she's like, "No, don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, you do. You do, though. Yeah, man, he slimmed right down. He slimmed right down. He's doing the Dave Bautista thing. Everyone says, like, oh, Dave Bautista looks like a cancer patient. He's still 250 pounds. he's still 6'5", 250 pounds, and he's shredded. What? What do you mean? Just because he doesn't have muscles that start right below his earlobes, you know what I mean? Like, he got off the steroids is essentially what older men have to make a decision. When you're doing the amount of steroids that Dave Bautista or some of these guys in The Rock, for example, was doing, when you get to be an older man, that much steroids tends to start to work against you and starts to work against, well, it's always working against you, but at a certain age, your doctor is like, dude, fucking, your heart, that thing that's in there, it's fucking old and you're making it work way too hard. So maybe don't do this as many steroids. So yeah, The Rock, he's in his 50s. So he probably had to cut down on the gas. That's a healthier, and not to mention, did you guys see what he was eating? Remember did you guys ever see The Rock's old diet from when he was as ripped as he was? Man, as far as I know, he got told if he kept going with the roids, his heart, yeah, exactly. Well, look what happened to Hulk Hogan. You guys gotta remember one thing about the old wrestlers. If you've ever watched, if you ever want to watch some really depressing but very interesting shit, watch a show called Dark Side of the Ring. It'll tell you basically story after story after story after story about how back in the day it was basically nothing but the white stuff. I'm not gonna say the word on here because you'll get nuked for copy algorithms and whatever. But you put together painkillers, the white stuff, steroids, a lack of sleep, and a shitload of working out, not to mention concussions. Put all those things together, and a lot of bad things happen to a lot of those that people we used to watch. And The Rock, while not partaking in probably all the other stuff, probably still using painkillers. Those wrestlers go through a lot, man. Wrestlers go through a lot physically. So anytime someone says wrestling is fake, it's predetermined, yes, but the shit those people go through and they put their bodies through just to entertain is madness. Madness. Making a lot of string noise here. Sorry, folks. Clan 35. I'm just going to call you Clan. Maybe that's not a good idea. Clan with a C. That's it. We're going to call you for now. Clan with a C. By the way, welcome. Welcome. Have you ever, I don't call your name ever chatting it up with us before. So you, sir, are going to be the recipient of today's prize of the day. You win a prize. You are going to email me at theampsimuniverse@gmail.com. And I am going to give you a prize. You're going to get to choose between Aurora DSP, Cobra, Dead Kitty, Absalon Base. I think those are the four. So if you have to choose between one of those, then let me know which one you choose, and we will get you one of those plugins just for being new and for being chatty. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you, by the way, to Aurora DSP, Daniel, Merrick, Kuba, wonderful people that I work with. Thank you to Aurora DSP for sponsoring the new chat initiative, new chatter initiative. Yes, this tone does sound very mean, doesn't it? All right, let's play some more. I also think, though, it's crazy that they're telling we realize that there are still steroids in professional wrestling, but they don't abuse them like they used to. I disagree. I think if wrestlers want to do steroids, let them. There's no records being set. There's no performance. Like, let the wrestlers do the steroids, because it doesn't just help. You got to remember, it doesn't just help with performance. It also helps your muscles heal and your body heal to a certain extent, right? So when you are bashing the ever-living shit out of your body the way those people do, man. Like, I've been watching wrestling my whole life with a very large break from 2003 to 2024. It's a very large break in there with very, very occasional watching of WrestleMania, pretty much only. And then I came back last year or just the year before, and man, the product is crazy now. Crazy. I gotta say, I'm more impressed with wrestling than I've ever been. Do I know it's fake? Absolutely. Do I give a shit? Nope, because it's like a soap opera and it's super fun and I'm gonna enjoy it just the way I want to. Also, Danhausen. Yes! All they need to do is put Joe Hendry on that main roster. Now we have everything. Danhausen on the main roster is fire. Can't wait. If you don't know who Danhausen is, go and look up Danhausen. He's a very interesting fella. I just popped up. Damn alligator just popped up. Cut me down to my prime. Anybody know what line that movie is from, or which movie that line is from, rather? Damn alligator just popped up. Bit my damn hand off. Cut me down. Cut me out of my prime. This, by the way, is almost certainly the voice to switch. I'm going to show you the difference, and it's quite glaring. So here's the voice 1. And then voice 2. There's a lot of noise on this, though. This guitar is a guitar that was given to me by a close friend of mine. This is a Schecter, as I went on about it earlier, but Clan with a C. This is a very, I think I was told one of the only 7 strings Sinister Gates put his name on, and this is the first Sinister Gates 7 string. This came out in late 90s, early 2K somewhere, as I was told. And it currently has Tim Henson signature Fishman Fluence modern pickups in it. And man, I could not be more impressed with these pickups. I am so impressed. I figured they would work because I heard a couple demos of them and they sounded very percussive. And that is exactly what I wanted for this instrument. And I think anybody that's tuning to like a low should be looking for this kind of percussive sound, because it just makes the low notes cut through so much better. I can hear every note, even though I'm playing way down in the F sharp. It's even every pick too. So that's really clear. Man, that's so clear. Very impressed with the guitar. I'm gonna keep it forever. It's just such a fun story that my friend that I hadn't seen in a while brought me some guitars. I fixed them up, cleaned the communal jam space abuse off them, cleaned the throne, basically probably some of just the most serious neglect of instruments. He was cleaning up a bunch of instruments that have been left in his jam space for years. This guitar being one of them. And people had just left them there. He contacted people. People's numbers don't work anymore. They moved out of town. This guitar was owned by somebody that apparently moved into town, did like 5 or 6 band practices or something, or just jams with my buddy, not even in my buddy's band, some other people. Then he just promptly moved out of town and left his stuff there, all of it, and just pieced right on out of town. And that was like 6 years ago, apparently. So this guitar fell into my lap, and I fixed up some of the other stuff that had been really just had the salt pounded right out of it by just being thrown around. You guys, if you've ever had a communal jam space, or if you ever had any jam space, you know what happens to guitars without a case that just hang around for too long. Eventually somebody steps on it. Eventually somebody puts a rack case on it, or eventually it falls off something. Somebody steps on it. Something happens to it. And everything that could happen to these guitars he brought me happened. This one, luckily, was not harmed in the process. Is in actually quite immaculate shape. The frets needed a lot of work. There was a lot of grime on them. They still need some more work, I think, but overall, I'm super impressed. I didn't think I was going to get this to play as nice as it is, but again, made in Korea, absolutely dunked in lacquer. Anything made in Korea has got lacquer on top of lacquer, that's on top of other lacquer, and more clear coat and clear coat. And those guitars are built for fucking war. So this guitar was built for war, went through probably a war, and came here. And man, I'm stoked about it. Clan Nazgul, nice. I've been looking for a new set of pickups for my own 7-string. It's a Jackson Corey Beaulieu KV7. You lucky son of a bitch. Wow. Did you ever see that Matt Tuck? Matt Tuck, is that his name? Matt Tuck from Bullet from My Valentine? Anyways, that dude from Bullet from My Valentine, do you ever see Matt Tuck's signature BC Rich V with the 3-in-3 headstock? Oh, we gotta go look at it. Something we do here from time to time. Matt Tuck BC Rich V. Yep, that's it. Oh my god. The things I would do to own this guitar. Oh my god. Where's a good picture of it? Oh, what is all this nonsense? Get off of me. Look at that beautiful instrument. Holy shit. That is just so nice. Wow. That, like, man, that is just, oh, the silver one too. Oh my god. That is just one of the nicest V's I've ever seen. The decision to put that 3-in-3 rich headstock with the single R on it, on that V. Ah, yes, just the simple details in everything. That is a beauty. That is one of the nicest guitars I've ever seen. V's, anyways. I can't play V's because I'm very limited to playing. I guess I could jam it in. I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I'm limited to playing. I hate playing in this position, by the way. I don't play like this. Normally, I play like this, but I don't want to be one of those guys that just sits and plays like this in his stream. I feel like I need to be doing like wheedly deedlies and stuff for you guys, but I don't know. It's not comfortable in a chair, unless I don't know. Maybe we can make it work if I get a new seat. A little bit out of tune. So, okay, going back to that comment. 7 people in the house. Hi, how are you? And it's got Seymour Duncan blackouts in it, but the low B gets super muddy, which is a disappointment. There are a lot of pickups. Rudy's going to jump at you with the Nazgul for sure, as I noticed. He already did. And he's right. The Nazgul Sentient combination is very nice, depending on what you like. You may find also luck with the Pegasus Sentient. That is also a very nice combination that I really enjoy. I enjoy both combinations. It also depends on the type of sound you're looking for. You're looking for this type of sound, then this pickup set might be for you. Something from either you might be an active guy. So maybe it's going to be about EMG or Fishman. We can definitely certainly talk to you about pickups. It's one of our favorite topics here, and it's a topic that, whether people like it or not, we talk about a lot on this channel because I do a lot of pickup swaps. I do a lot of pickup reviews, pickup testing. People send me stuff, and I throw it into guitars, and sometimes it lives in that guitar forever. Sometimes it doesn't. My hope is for 2026. I'm hoping to get a BC Rich Ironbird Prophecy in white. Why white? Is so that I can test any manner of color or style, any basically any bridge pickup. I can test it. There's only one pickup in the guitar as well, and that's all I really care about right now is in that guitar is the bridge pickup anyway. So we're going to be hopefully doing a lot of pickup demos this year. We're going to be having a lot of stuff from Aurora Tone. If you have not heard of Aurora Tone before, they are one of the channel sponsors, always have been. So check out Aurora Tone pickups. And I'm going to be getting a new set from them. We're also working on a new set together for Doom purposes. We are making a set that has a very, very high, some big numbers on this set, not necessarily in the price, but in the resistance and the output and whatnot. There's some big numbers on these. So that'll be interesting. With a lot of pickup demos on this channel over the next year. Hopefully. We'll see. We also have a very wide selection of pickups available in the guitars that I use most often, so it's always nice to talk about the pickups. I always like to let people know what the guitar is, which guitar exactly I'm using, and which pickups at the start of a stream. Though if you missed it or if I didn't say it, always feel free to ask which pickups or if there's any modifications on the guitar other than, or if maybe the pickups are stock. However, I can promise you, if you're going to ask me if the pickups are stock, I don't have stock pickups in any of my guitars anymore. I've just done too much switching. My own Razorback, it's an 06. Man, you get along really well with Eddie. One of our main guys here on our staff, Eddie Shar, is a Pantera guru. The guy knows it all. And when I say all, I mean he knows it all. Everything Dime ever used for gear and everything else. He is... Fuck. Windows open. It's nice out. You're going to hear cars. It happens. That song has always been meant to be played in F sharp in extremely high gain. I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan. No, scratch that. I'm a big fan of Led Zeppelin, but it would sure be nice if I could go back in time and replace their singer with someone else. Anyone else. I cannot stand Robert Plant's voice or anything else. It's tough though, because I love their music. I love the performances of some of the most incredible musicians that have ever touched instruments, but Robert Plant just... So sometimes the singer, you guys go ahead, right now, each and every person in this chat right now has one band or maybe 100 different bands that they cannot listen to because of the singer and solely because of the singer. Name that band for you. A band that musically you would love to be able to enjoy, but you just can't because the singer is just not your thing. Maybe the singer is technically proficient, but as we know, a technically proficient singer doesn't always mean you're going to like their voice. It's always a hit and miss. The singer is always the big sell. So you guys do me a favor in the comments, in the chat, do tell Who is that band for you? And maybe, or bands, plural. Seymour Duncan's, hold on a second. Anything active? Anything, hold on. Clan, you could also try that new Mortal Coil pickup from Duncan. Has two, yeah, they have the new Mortal Coil. I have not tried it, and it's very likely that I'm not gonna get a chance to. There's a fella, maybe potentially a new team member that I talked to a lot about pickups, and he knows what I, he knows what I like. Excuse me again. He knows what I like. I know what he likes. He reads me pretty well, and he's just kind of like, dude, you're not gonna like these pickups. He's like, you're probably not gonna like, and if you do, you're gonna have something else that you like just as much that you already own. And so I'll trust him on that until maybe, like, I get artist pricing with Seymour Duncan, but I wouldn't go and just buy a set of Mortal Coils. I am curious, but not so curious that I'm gonna go and just randomly drop on a set. And if I had to choose between the Tim Henson set and a set of Mortal Coils, this Tim Henson set has proven itself time and time again. So I'm just quite excited about this set as it is. But Seymour Duncan's answer to Fishman, I mean, they've always had active pickups, right? But they've always managed to come up with some interesting active pickups that compete, right? So I'm guaranteeing the Mortal Coils are awesome. It's just that, are they different enough from Fishman and EMG that I need to go and try them or not? Like if I'm gonna wait for Rudy to do that. Anything active you can get from EMG or Duncan, you can switch right out without changing the pots and all quick connect as long as you yeah, that's true and not true. If it's EMG and Fishman do not match up. I just want to point that out right now. As for this, the Mortal Coils, I don't know if they come with a different style of pot. I can't speculate there. Nevermore. What about Nevermore? Do tell. I've been talking with Jack, trying to get Jack Catoy. I think, is it Jack Catoy? Catoy? I'm going to say Catoy. He's the new guitar player for Nevermore. I'm very excited for him because he's a creator I've been working with for a little bit. And, he works at Seymour Duncan, which is pretty awesome. Super nice guy. I'm trying to get him to come in here on the channel, but he kind of has a lot going on right now, given obviously he's in full on trying to learn all the songs, and he's playing guitar with every single spare second he has. So he doesn't really have an hour to come and hang out with us, but after tour and after some things slow down, he'll come and join us. Also, who will be joining us? But Dave Davidson himself will be joining us for a stream to talk about his plugin and talk about the contest that's going to be launching in about 2 weeks or so. We're going to be doing a contest with Sheet Happens and potentially another named sponsor. So it'll be Wavemind, the AmpSim Universe, and Sheet Happens going in on a contest where you can win this plugin, and you'll also be able to win other Wavemind plugins as well as products from Sheet Happens like Revocation Songbooks and more. So just a heads up on that. You guys should start hearing about that probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe aiming for late March to get that going. And I could not be more excited because it's around my March break time. So yeah, and basically it's going to be first, second, and third place, and it's going to be a content creation challenge. So this will be, if you go basically create a piece of content that is anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds, does not need to exceed 90 seconds. It's fine if you do. 2 minutes is fine. Just, I mean, nothing longer than 2 minutes, preferably. And then Dave himself, Chris, myself, we're going to be looking over all the demos and then just discussing who's should be first, second, and the third. And then those people are going to win some awesome prize packs. And then the biggest prize of the bunch, you get a Zoom guitar lesson with Dave Davidson, one of the greatest guitar players on this earth right now. You're going to get a Zoom guitar lesson with him for free, where he'll work on basically anything you'd like to work on with him. You'll be able to email him ahead of time, or you'll be able to email us ahead of time with exactly the things you'd like to work on in your lesson. We'll send it over to Dave so he can prep something up, and then we'll do, you'll get your guitar lesson essentially. So it's going to be a lot of fun. If you're out there and you're thinking, oh, geez, I can't fucking shred, it's not a shred competition. It's a piece of content. So we're looking at what am I listening to right now? We're looking at the sound quality. We're looking at the video quality. We're looking at the arrangement. We're listening for mixing. You know, it's the piece of content that's getting graded here. Not your, you know, if you're just gonna send a video of you going, woo, 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 nobody cares. Absolutely nobody gives a shit. Not one soul. So if you're mixing, preferably it's riff oriented with maybe a solo mixed in, but not just, definitely not asking. It's not a solo competition. So we want to make sure people know that out of the blocks. This is more of a riff competition than it is a solo competition, but everything will be taken into account, like you're playing as well, for example. 6 feet under. Oh, Nevermore. Sorry, I remember what you're saying now. Nevermore's the band. Okay, Nevermore, I understand. I understand, Mark. I get it. World Dane used a lot of... I'm not trying to disrespect. I said the same thing about him when he was, you know, in the land of the living. I'm not trying to disrespect the dead by any means. Nor is Mark, I'm sure. But a lot of the same vocal patterns and melodies and a lot of different Nevermore songs. That's the only thing that possibly that I could say negatively about World Dane. Otherwise, fantastic frontman though. Very good frontman, controls the crowd really well. Some bands need to be seen live, I think, but I get it. Sometimes it's just the way the singer sings that just rubs you the wrong way. Megadeth and Overkill. Megadeth, I don't agree. Overkill, I get it totally. Both of them, I get it. You know, both of them. Dave Mustaine's voice has always been an acquired taste. Dude from Overkill, I mean, he sounds like the Crypt Keeper, or he kind of looks like the Crypt Keeper. But that dude, Overkill, yeah, definitely a band that you can, yeah, I get what you're going with that. 6 feet under, I can't do it with Chris Barnes' voice. You know, his... It's been a bit since I challenged my throat that way. When that first became a thing, we had a lot of fun with that. We still had, every time I see a post about 6 feet under, there's me in the comments saying something with E. Like it's the funniest thing. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go and look up 6 feet under and then just type a whole bunch of capital E's. Go ahead, right up here. I'll wait. I mean, it's going to take you like 45 seconds to figure it out. Go ahead, 45 seconds while you take you 6 feet under and a bunch of capital E's, and then the mystery will be solved for you. E. Oh, what's that was a joke, kind of a running joke for a little bit, was what's Chris Barnes' favorite vowel? And then you of course know where it's going. Tyler, don't you fall under more the DiMarzio side when it comes to pickups? Why not? What's wrong with DiMarzio? Nothing wrong with that company. They make stellar pickups. There's a lot of models from just DiMarzio that are great. Nothing wrong with DiMarzio at all. The Evolution is one of the greatest bridge pickups ever conceived by a human. Maybe an alien out there even making that pickup. That pickup, Steve Vai's first bridge pickup, I think it was one of his first bridge pickups. The Evolution is the number 2 model is not as fun. I tried number 2 thinking it was like going to be an improvement, but it was kind of flat sounding. With the new one, or the first Evolution, oh man, great pickup. The PAF Pro, great pickup. The Chopper T, great pickup. Amazing pickup. But then Seymour Duncan, again, I'm not a pickup fanboy. I can't. There's just too much great shit. I would love to fanboy for Seymour Duncan, but there's just too much great shit out there being made by so many different winders that you're just like, I couldn't possibly align myself with one pickup. Even inside Active, I tried to be an EMG guy. I tried to be more pro EMG than I was pro Fishman, but then Fishman eventually got to me because like, you just listen to it. So I'm going to tell you, for the 57 files, I like the raw. The processing it's under processing. You'll notice there's raw, EQ correction, and full EQ. I personally, when it comes to the 57 files in the top end, really like the raw files. Then I like the other side of it, being able to go and use the full EQ or EQ corrected versions of the mic that I'm going to use for maybe some of that low end, so I can actually harness it and pull it together just a tiny bit more. You guys be the judge. Play with it though. That's the thing. There's so many different features in this plugin that it's almost impossible to go wrong. You can't go wrong. There's nowhere to go wrong for tone. And if maybe it seems like an overwhelming amount of options up here in the presets, you'll notice in contributors, artists, factory, and then the user presets from me are going to be heading their way into the next and probably one of the other versions. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this is version 1.01. I have to say, hold on. The body just hangs there. My cats love it when I do that. Nothing wrong with it. But Tyler, what's your favorite pickup? That's impossible. I can't pick one. For what genre? You know what I mean? Which genre? I'm going to have to go and say, like, if you're asking me for metal, I'm going to have to go with, for metal, the Bill Lawrence USA L500XL is an extravagant pickup. That pickup is pretty much, if that's my favorite pickup of all time, I'm going to say it. That's my favorite pickup of all time for anything except for like country and maybe now even Southern rock. The L500XL often gets pigeonholed as this pickup that's only good for dime bag tones. And in fact, that's not the case. Not by any means is that ever the case. It's a fan-fucking-tastic pickup that's good for rock. It's good for metal. And the dime bag sound predominantly came from those EQs out front of his amp anyway. So don't look at it like the dime bag pickup. You can't buy the Bill Lawrence USA versions anymore. They're very expensive, but you can buy the wild built versions, and I'm going to be buying myself a bridge pickup for my Mindzinger probably sometime sometime soon. I don't know. I'm going to have to buy one from this company because I've never bought from Wild. I've tried one of them before. That was in a friend of mine's guitar, but I've never actually bought from them before. And I didn't realize they were actually still selling them. So, and they're not expensive pickups. A WILDE. You can check these out. L500XL. And Bill and Becky Wild, excuse me, make these pickups. And you can get them made all kinds of different ways. This is kind of a sick idea here where they have that wrap. I actually used to think this was made out of metal or something, but you can actually make that whatever color you want. Notice here, it's been made that color. You can make it red. And I would probably go with white myself. Something like this. Yeah, like that. White or cream. Even either way, I think, no, I'm going to go with the creamier looking white. This is not all white, not full white. Look at it. It's still cream. But it's still white. I'm going to definitely, that'll be the model I go with for the Mindzinger because I think the cream pickups will look good with gold. Cream and gold always look good together. So I'm going to get these. That's going to go. I'm going to go with that as my favorite pickup of all time. Since you asked, and I had to really think about it. It's really hard. That's a tough one though. For country and like basically anything clean in a Telecaster. The Fishman, Greg Koch, whatever's I'm gonna have to look it up how to phonetically say his last name. That dude's Telecaster set with Fishman is pretty absurd. Although the best Telecaster set I ever used is now actually all the nicest Telecaster pickups I ever used are now were made by people that are now unfortunately deceased. They made Peter Florence and also Mr. Lace. Rest in peace. But if I have to go, the Brad Paisley set of pickups from Seymour Duncan is awfully nice, but there's something about a noise, like a big fat noiseless, like the single coil, like you think about the quarter-pound Telly, that sounds nice. There's lots of different Telly pickups. Now you got me thinking about Telecaster pickups. Perfect. 9 people in the house. Hi, how's it going? We're just wrapping things up here shortly, and then we're going to get out of here. Today, we went over 2 of the amps, and I believe that I'm going to just do streams based on all of these amps eventually. Like the next stream will probably be something more rock-oriented with the Icona, and then I'm going to do something clean with this. Although I will say, we should just take a little poke around here real quick. I'm going to pull the single coil switch on this. And we're going to turn off the scream up. All right, so we did that. Let's turn on some verb. And let's turn on some chorus. And maybe even some delay. Let's see what we got here. Sounds terrific. Excuse me. Try that again. That's fantastic. Let's make this a little bit louder. A little bit. That's a unique sound, eh? Wow, that's lots. That's so much top. Oops. Yeah, man, this single coil sounds, they also have a nylon string kind of sound that's got a whole lot less top end. That sounds a little like this. Sounds awesome. Let's throw the compressor on that. Oops. Anyways, you can hear this sounds rather wonderful. And man, it's such a you're gonna have to give me some time to get used to the 7-string. Again, all over the place today. You gotta love how it just lets you know you made a mistake 12 times, eh? Man, very touch-sensitive pickups. These might be some of the most touch-sensitive and ridiculous pickups that I've ever used. They are just so like these pickups are like intelligent. Like there's just so much about these pickups to like. So whether you like Tim Henson or not, I'm not the biggest fan of his music. I give the guy a lot of respect for literally inspiring a new generation of guitar players to be insanely good. But his music's not really my thing. But again, I'm gonna tell you guys, I'm using two signature products right now, and whether you do or do not like Dave Davidson's music or playing, I don't understand how anyone would not like the man's playing because it's breathtaking, but nonetheless, we're all different people. Whether you like his playing or dig his music or not, this plugin needs your attention. It does. It's just factual. This plugin, if you're a guitar player, and whether you like high gain or not, this is a plugin I think should be at least explored by all guitar players. And I'm not just saying that because we had, something to do with, the development. It's a plugin that I'm very proud of. And not only am I very proud of it, I think that I know that one of the reasons that I'm proud of it is because I know so many different guitar players can get something out of this plugin. Whether you're a fan of rock, any type of metal, I don't care what type of heavy music you're into, this can do it. The first 2 amps here can do it. The lead tones, shred tones, rock tones, all kinds of other tones come out of that Marshall, and then the clean tone deluxe on the end. This can be enjoyed and by any guitar player. So if you're a guitar player out there, and many of you probably are, please do give this a go. And let us know what you think next time we're on here with it. I am going to be back here. Excuse me. I am likely going to be back here tomorrow with something to do with the Marshall. Friday, we're going to be back to using some NAMM stuff and talking about some stuff that over there. Jeremy Donovan, nice. Icona is your favorite in the plugin? Nice, Ton. I appreciate that. My favorite pickup is Nazgul, is the Nazgul set. I also love the Fishman Moderns, but those are also different. The Mick Thompson set is legit, though. That is my favorite set of Fishman pickups. The Tim Henson and the Mick Thompson go back and forth, though. They do. Two phenomenal and very different sets of pickups. However, I will say there's a couple sets of Fluence Moderns that I was not a fan of, and I felt just kind of sound like a big old flat banana. That's how I'm gonna describe them. The nickel blades were very much not my thing, but then again, they might be your thing. So check out all the different pickups Fishman have to offer. What hour tomorrow? I don't know if tomorrow is 100%, but it'll be the same as always, between 4:20 and 4:30 somewhere. Friday, guaranteed I'll be here, but tomorrow is going to be maybe not. I will hope to be here tomorrow 4:30, and I'm going to showcase the rock side and the clean side of the plugin. We're going to be first hour will be rock stuff, and the second hour I'm going to grab a different Telecaster. We're going to try to do some plucking with it and show the true versatility of this plugin. All right, folks, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if we've entertained you. And if you dislike something, let us know why, so we know what we can improve on. We know we're not perfect. Our content is not perfect, nor is it made for everyone. But if you're going to throw down that dislike, I don't know, be a human and let people know what they could do better. Thanks so much for your time, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.
twist like this.